Ah, Valheim, your wonderful seas, your colourful and evocative sunsets and sunrises, and your strangely blocky graphics. What a charming game. Simply charming. And talking of things that are strangely blocky, I've always struggled with building structures, with building anything that looks particularly good, or representative of how you typically build houses with roofs, with bay windows, that sort of thing. This is more like my typical build, as you can see. Although it is elevated, it's still basically a box with a roof. So I decided to try and find a building that I could use as a template for any new base that I built that actually looked like a decent building. And this is the result. This is actually Mark II. The original video I saw creator creating something similar was a slightly thinner structure. Same length, but as I say, not quite as wide as I would have liked, so I expanded it. And in doing so, that caused a few issues. It meant that where the central arches you can see above the door, their roof tiles met nicely in the middle. I had to expand that slightly upwards and then have a little bit on top, which I think actually looks quite pleasing as a two-tiered effect. It also meant that their roof from the side point of view was not quite as curved as mine. I had to add an extra couple of tiles, again to sort of meet for the extra width. So this is the build. The first version of this I built somewhere else on a different map, far, far away, with a thatched roof. And indeed this one originally had a thatched roof, but before recording this video I changed it to the shingle roof, which uses tar. This is actually the fourth version of this video that I've recorded. The first one was the original test house, and in doing the recording I realised I'd made a mess of some of the roofing tiles and had to change that after recording. The first recording I did of this one, I got through the end, did the tour, and then realised I hadn't actually pressed record, so it wasn't recording anything. After admonishing myself, I started again, did the same thing, and realised I still hadn't pressed record. So there you go. That's how stupid I am. So this is the fourth version of this. I also took the opportunity, apart from changing the thatch roof to shingle, to add this little archway, and indeed the shutters that you can see here. I haven't really used shutters before. I'm not sure I'll use them again afterwards. It's an interesting idea, but the fact that you can accidentally open them through the other side of the house, as I've just done, does seem a little bit odd. So this is inside. I've split this into roughly 4 areas. The portal over here in the corner is distanced from everything else to make sure that you don't activate it every time you walk past to do something else. And then over here in front of the hearth you can see a living room sort of area. Throne set in the corner there, various benches, tables. If I move around to the back of the hearth you can see what would be the cooking area. A few chests. I haven't fully expanded it, there's a cauldron and other bits and pieces there. But this is more just as a sort of a concept at the moment. I did put the fermenting barrel in because that looks quite nice. And then in this corner you can see that I've got the workbench areas, the forge and the workbench. Again, I've upgraded them somewhat so that I can use them to repair things, but I haven't fully upgraded them. In fact, in this particular base, the 2 blocky buildings I showed you originally are actually, there's a kitchen there and a workshop. So if I was going to upgrade them, I would probably do that. I'm highlighting the floor here to show you that there's 2 different areas, the foundational blue tiles, and then underneath, next to those, the green tiles. The green tiles show where I've mined out underneath, and I've put some of the upgrades for the workbenches in that area. In the original version of this house that I did, I had 2 tiles here that I'd mined out and put the stone cutter inside that under the floor, because that was the only building in that base, so it made sense to do that. That's not the case with this base, so I haven't actually done that. What I have done is expanded that area out so that you've got a potential basement. I haven't got stairs going to it yet because I haven't actually got any purpose for it. Again, it was just an idea of I can mine this out, I can have a basement area should I think of something to put in it. And if I go over to the window at the back of the house, you can see a little bit of roof projecting out. That's sitting above where I've put the stone cutter. So that's the downstairs. If we go upstairs now, the upstairs is split into two areas. On the original version, I had the sleeping area to the left around the chimney, and this area to the right that's sectioned off was going to be just for storage. As you can see, I've swapped those around because I thought it looked nicer to have a whole separate area for sleeping, and then I can put storage chests around the walls if I want to use this for mass storage. You can see the crystal in the front windows there. I haven't populated all of the windows with crystal, partly because it's quite expensive. I don't think I've got that much, and partly because this is just a concept build. Again, I noticed this black metal chest. I've never built one before, so I thought I'd build one to see what it was like, and was quite shocked it has more storage than the normal chests and the big fine wood chests. I've got plenty of black metal, so that may be something I'll look to using more, especially seeing as it uses standard wood rather than fine wood. So there you have the upstairs section. Overall, I quite like the look of this. It does look quite striking. I know some people can do more work around the doors. I've seen a diamond window pattern either side of the door where they've used an iron grille and then crystals to make that sort of much more striking. I haven't done any of that. I might do it at some point, but as I said, the whole concept behind this was just to see what it looks like to build it and to get used to designing what would be a standard house build. And again, this was another example of lots of people creating different sort of storage sheds and storage buildings. Just seeing if I created a small simple one with 3 stacks of standard chests, what that would look like. Again, I haven't populated it out completely with chests because it's just to give you a flavour. And that building below, you can see the workshop, and then in the distance what would be the kitchen. Both of those have got plenty of storage. That's one thing I'm not quite sure about. If you separate out the functionality, where do you put things? You don't want it spread all over the place. So that was the house. What do you think of it? I hope you liked it, and thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.